Today I'm joined by Constable Kelsey Davidge, and we're going over some safe Halloween tips for this year. And to start, I'd like to talk about why you think it's important for us to go over these safe tips.
I wouldn't necessarily consider Halloween a dangerous holiday, but we do see maybe increased calls of service when Halloween comes around. We always have that increased traffic on the roadway, increased pedestrians walking on sidewalks, people going from house to house while trick or treating. So I just believe just more of the general public is out and about. We also see those parties that are involved with Halloween, right? People are in costumes, people may be drinking and driving, not getting those rides home or using a designated driver or a cab service. And then we have people in costumes and stuff, even physically seeing people falling while they're out trick-or-treating, right? Going to those emergency rooms or just needing more emergency services.
What are some tips for parents who are taking their kids out trick-or-treating?
For sure. Tips we recommend for trick or treating is have your children in something that you can see them in, right? Though those blacked out costumes look pretty cool, make sure they have some reflective something on it or reflective tape on maybe their coat or going out with a flashlight or something like that so you can physically see where your child is. We also recommend walking up one way of the sidewalk and returning on the other. This closes that risk of children going to and from houses, zigzagging across that street, and also helping those drivers that where again there's that increased pedestrian traffic out from homes. Another thing we recommend is making sure your child's costume is accessible and that they're able to walk around and move from house to house. Make sure they can't trip over something. With our cold weather coming in as well, making sure your child's dressed appropriately, right? If you're out for a couple hours trick or treating, make sure they're warm and comfortable when they're going home to home. And our final one I would say is just make sure you check everything that you are given from houses. Go over that candy and make sure there's nothing in there that's not supposed to be in there.
Can you go over some tips for drivers who are going to be seeing themselves on the road during those peak trick-or-treating hours?
Yeah, for sure. Again, watch out for those children or people walking on roadways, medians, or curbs. Be careful when using or coming up to those crosswise, I should say, because they probably will be a bit busier than normal. Watch out for other moving vehicles that are going from houses to houses. And in dusk or later times during the day, make sure we're looking out for people in dark clothing, and that we're just aware of, again, of that increased traffic and kind of expect the unexpected. Make sure you're being extra cautious and aware of people who are on those sidewalks and streets for trick-or-treating.
Were there any last safety tips that you'd like to share?
Yeah, again, I think it's up to you as a parent to go through your kid's candy. We always recommend looking through it just to make sure that there's nothing in there that there isn't supposed to be. If you do maybe have something that's been opened or you're not sure where it's from, you can always put it in the garbage and just decrease that risk by just throwing it out. But again, always go through anything that you receive, and it's up to you as that parent to make sure that if there's any allergies or anything that your child's allergic to, that you're going through it and being cautious of what you're giving to them, right?
That is all the time that we have today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk about this.